What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we're back with my 1987 Chevy Monte Carlo SS, the car that was built for Power Tour 2024 and unfortunately didn't make it. It's been a while since we've come back to this car, guys. I kind of got really disheartened, really disappointed in how everything turned out. After spending a ton of time, a ton of money on this project to make it ready for Power Tour 2024, the transmission failed. We thought it was a torque converter, and we replaced it. Here's the torque converter that came out of it, and what we found is when we pulled the torque converter out, well, interesting thing happened. There was no fluid in it. Now, with that said, the transmission was full of fluid. There was just none in the torque converter. So we put a new torque converter in it, and as you can imagine, it did absolutely no good. Something is very broken inside the transmission. We had some issues with Monster Transmissions. They sponsored the transmission, a Stage 3 204R, and Submitting Performance sponsored the engine. Well, the engine has done great. The engine has been flawless. I've had no issues with the motor in this car at all. Air conditioning is still ice cold. I mean, this is basically a brand new car. Fresh paint, fresh stickers, new wheels, new tires, new brake lines, proportioning valve, master cylinder, all new air conditioning and heating components, everything. Like, everything on this car is new. And new exhaust sponsored by Holley. It's just the transmission gave out. And then I couldn't get a response from anybody. Nobody seemed like they really wanted to help me get this figured out. So we ended up having to haul the car around for the rest of Power Tour on a U-Haul trailer. Yes, it was rather embarrassing, kind of humiliating, not to mention it cost a ton of money. And then I kind of got ghosted. Well, I ended up getting a phone call from a gentleman that used to be the owner and CEO of Monster Transmissions. He is no longer the owner and CEO, but he called me to express his concerns and to apologize profusely, even though it wasn't his responsibility to do so. He informed me that he built this business over the last 28 years, and things just aren't quite the way they used to be anymore. And again, he didn't need to call me or apologize, but he did anyway. And he said, I just wanted to make sure you and your audience know I'm still listed as the CEO, but I've got nothing to do with the company at all anymore. Well, shortly after that, he said he was going to make some phone calls, and what do you know? Sitting in front of us is another 204R, another 2400 stall torque converter, and new fluid. So big shout out to Monster Transmissions for giving me a call, discussing the issues at hand, and agreeing that we were going to work this out. So today's goal is to get the old transmission out, drained, and get it in this box, because Monster Transmissions wants to do something pretty unique. They're going to take the old transmission, I'm going to ship it back to them, and they are going to tear it apart on video. And they're going to find out exactly what went wrong with the transmission that's in it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's a nice, entertaining way to end a pretty bad experience for me. They sent me the new transmission and everything needed, so we got a few things to do. I'm hoping I can get this done before the end of today. To start with, let's see, we got to disconnect the TV cable and undo it from its bracket right there. I may switch out this Holley bracket, this adjustable bracket, for a different one. I haven't decided yet. I never had a shifting problem with this transmission. It always shifted like it was supposed to. It shifted through the gears just fine. It downshifted like it was supposed to. So I don't believe that I got anything wrong with the TV cable. And the TV cable functions properly. The header on this side, we're going to have to get this header out in order to have enough room to pull the transmission. I wanted to take the driver's side header out, but there's no way. The air conditioning brackets, power steering brackets, everything overlap that exhaust header. So that's not going to happen. So we're going to have to take it out of here. This is only a few bolts, spark plug wires, get them out of the way, and then climb under the car and start working on that. So off camera, let me remove a few pieces. We'll get this exhaust kind of loose here. Spark plug wires, we'll disconnect them. We'll get the TV cable disconnected as well and out of its bracket. And then we should be about ready to get this thing up in the air and drain it. All right, it's been a little while, and we've gotten a few things accomplished under here. Number one, I did everything the hard way just because I don't want to mess with it, guys. I don't want any problems. That header had to come off. All right, it had to be done. The ears of the transmission will not fit through both of these headers installed. So I took the passenger header out. I took quite a bit of the exhaust off as well. As you can see under here, there's very little left under here anymore. We're about to drain the transmission fluid. Nick is going to be doing that job. We've got the shifter linkage disconnected. We've got the wiring for overdrive disconnected. We've got the shift interlock disconnected. I've got 2 of the flywheel to torque converter bolts removed. I've got 1 of the bell housing bolts removed. All I really have left, I left the drive shaft in. I'm going to do it last, but drive shaft's got to come out. This cross member right here has got to come out. And then we got 1 more bolt somewhere way up there. We're going to have to turn the engine over to get that out. Once we get this out, this last bolt, I think it's going to be time to go ahead and put the trans mount under here after the fluid's drained. And go ahead and get the trans jack underneath here, put some weight on it, get the cross member out, take the drive shaft out, and then start taking the bolts out of the transmission. This thing should be coming out here any minute. Nick, you want to go ahead and drain the fluid? Let's see what it looks like. Let me grab this light here so we can see a little bit better.
Right.
Yep, go for it. You're gonna need to move this over some because this thing tends to be a gusher.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. Just when it's ready to come out, just get your hands out the way. There you go. Hey, that fluid is clean, man. Wow, that actually looks really good.
Really red.
It looks really good. Okay. I don't pretend to understand what's wrong with the transmission, guys. I don't build transmissions. I don't understand too much about transmissions and torque converters. All right, I don't know, foreign to me. Might as well be like learning a foreign language. All I can tell you is that fluid looks really, really nice. So I guess I'm a little confused. We're gonna let that drain for a while, guys. I'm gonna continue knocking some of this out. Nick's gonna help me with a few little things under here. And hopefully when we come back, we'll have the trans jack under here and we'll be ready to pull this transmission out and set it down next to the new one. All right, guys, we've made an absolute freaking mess everywhere. We drained the transmission, yet somehow there's still fluid everywhere, all over the floor. All of the bolts should be out. TV cable is out. Dipstick is out. Cooler lines out. Cross member, exhaust, everything appears to be disconnected at this point. Like I said, we just got a massive mess all over the place. So I'm gonna try to lower this down just a hair. Actually, we need to raise it up just a hair. Let's see. Let's raise it up just a hair. Let's put the pry bar in and see if we can coerce this thing to come apart from the engine just a little bit here. There we go. There we go. Get out of the way, because if this sucker falls, well, there we go. I don't want to be under it. All right. Ow, son of a biscuit eater. All right, down. And let's bring her back. Oh, there's still tons of fluid in that. Why are we? There we go. There we go. I see what's happening. The torque converter is not coming out with the transmission here. That ain't. Oh, we got her jammed up a little bit there. Well, that's my bad. Now we got even more of a mess. This is going to be fun, because now we got the torque converter. The torque converter is going to want to fall out. That torque converter ain't light neither, guys. She's heavy. So, may need to get a hand here. Man, I'm telling you, what a mess. That could have been a disaster. The torque converter was a tad bit bound up in the flywheel, guys. Wasn't too bad. Used a pry bar, pried it out of there. Let's start lowering this down just a hair. Make sure everything's clear. There we go. That's all right. That's all right. Let's hold it. Bring out this TV cable here. And double check that everything is out of the way. It is strapped down. Looks like everything's all right. There you go, girl. Out you go. Whew. All right, well, there's the old one. It'll be interesting to see what Monster Transmissions finds out about this old girl, because I'm definitely curious to see what went wrong with it. So, got the old one out. Now it's just a matter of, you know, just sliding the new one in. Not a big deal. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. All right, guys, I'm going to lift this thing up, drag this out, and I guess it is about time to try to throw that other one up in here. All right, we're making progress, guys. I wanted to show you kind of step by step as I put this thing back together. I thought about just throwing it back in the car and being done with it, but I thought we want to make sure that everybody can see that I've got everything installed on this transmission the way it's supposed to be. Aside from the torque converter, we're not ready to put it on just yet. Torque converter is full, by the way. It came shipped, pre-filled. I don't know if you can, yeah, it's full, all right? Torque converter is full. We got plenty of fluid. I do have the TV cable installed, and you can see that it works properly. We have our trans cooler lines installed. We have our pressure switch for lockup in fourth gear. We have already lubed. There's a little O-ring right here. Very important to lube these things up. I got the splines lubed. I've got the seal lubed up as well with automatic transmission fluid. So everything is lubed up, ready for the torque converter to go on. And then, of course, putting the torque converter on, you should hear several clicks, thump, thump, thump. And once it's in, you'll know that it's in. We do have the gasket already here for the transmission dipstick. We installed the speedometer drive gear, which is right here off the other transmission. And we installed the gear selector bracket. So really, this thing is pretty close to going in, guys. Everything is tightened down. Everything is good to go. It's just a matter of putting the torque converter on, getting it on the trans jack, and then getting it back in the car. And like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish all this tonight. And here's another important thing that you got to do. Nick and I just did this. We flushed out these transmission lines. Kind of messy, but I took one of those fluid pumps, the manual variety, and put it in a big container of fresh Dex. What is this? Is this Dex 6? Dex 3. It's fine. Dex 3 is fine. We're not filling the transmission with Dex 3, but we did use that cheap old Dex 3 to manually pump fluid both directions through both of these lines and make sure that all the fluid coming out was clear. Everything looked good. I didn't see any junk, any debris, anything nasty coming through it. So I think the cooler lines are fine. The cooler in the radiator is fine as well. It's just a matter of kind of keeping these things out of the way, making sure they don't get bound up when we're trying to get this transmission installed. And the hardest part, honestly, is getting the header in and out. That header is, it's honestly it's a pain. Getting that header in and out is it's a pretty serious pain. Obviously, we want to make sure we don't pinch this up in here either. So I'm going to have to, off camera, there we go. We'll leave it just like that. Everything is out of the way. Flywheel looks good. Everything looks good in here as well. So I think we're good to go, guys. Let's get this thing on the trans jack, and hopefully when we come back, poof, with the magic of editing, the transmission will at least be sitting in the car. Well, you know, it's been a tough day when my hat's off and my hair looks like this. I'm just drenched in sweat. Even with the air conditioner on, it is ridiculously hot in here. Or maybe it's just for moving around. Anyway, let's take a look at the Monte Carlo. Here she is. And you see what's missing? I did get a little bit further tonight than I thought I was going to get, and I'm very happy about that. We still have a drive shaft to put in. I ran into a problem. My Rimflex header gasket, it broke. on the passenger side, so I don't have a header gasket. It's 10 o'clock at night. There's no way of getting one tonight, so not without driving an hour to the city and an hour back here. No, thank you. I'm done for the night. If you look up, though, let me get you guys positioned so you can see. How about that? We got a transmission, guys. We do. We've got the starter reinstalled, trans lines, the electrical connectors. The cross member is just sitting in here for now. There's no bolts. I want to lower the lift down, get the car further down to the ground. It's not even on its safety latches right now. I've been working under it like this. So I wanted to get the trans jack out from under here. I got to remember, before I forget, I need to put the torque converter bolts back in here. So that'd be a pretty good idea, I think. There we go. Trying to line them up. I put the starter in. Dummy. You can get to the other torque converter bolt so easy with that starter out of the way. But oh well, it is what it is. I'll remember that tomorrow, because somewhere are my torque converter bolts. I've got the ones that were sent to me by Monster Transmission. These are the ones they sent. And then I have my ARPs, which I don't know. I think I probably trust the ARPs a little bit more. Either way, I mean, they're the same size and everything. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Anyway, she's in, and what this means is that with just a little more tinkering and some fluid, this thing, we're close, man. We're close to being able to fire it up and hope that everything works the way it's supposed to. We got to put the exhaust back on. I've got to bolt up the header on the passenger side once I get the gasket. And I think that's about it. Some torque converter bolts. You know, there's a little ways to go, but overall, not too bad for one night. I think we're going to head home, Nick. What do you think?
Sounds good.
He's tired. He's wore out. He ain't used to working like this, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of work, and after this is done, I plan on getting on that Corvette over there. I want to try to do the rebuild in one video. Should be relatively, I shouldn't say it because that means we're going to have a ton of problems, but hood hinges, hood, I got the fender over there, we got the headlight over there. You know, with all of this stuff, it should not be that big a deal to basically slap this car back together and just kind of a one and done rebuild video on the Corvette, then take her out for a drive with all of her components. Hopefully, when I snap my fingers, we're going to come back here, we're going to finish up this mess, and the Monte Carlo should live again. Kind of in a hurry to get this done. I want to get it done because I have decided I'm going to sell it. I've got something. Nick, you saw what I plan on bringing to the channel, and it's better than the Monte Carlo. Yeah. Trust me, guys. I know you guys are going to hate to see the Monte Carlo go. I am too in some ways, and in other ways, I'm just kind of like, you know what? Once we get it back together, it's done. It'll be finished. Everything brand new. Perfect. Send it down the road, get my money, and move on to the next car that is way older and, in my opinion, way cooler.
Yeah, it is.
And you want to talk about a power tour car? That's a power tour car, man. Big shout out and thank you to Nick for coming out and helping me tonight. Truly appreciate him. I think you may be able to stay at home tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I want to.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come back. He doesn't want a mechanic anymore. I think we bird about on being a mechanic now. So we're gonna come back tomorrow, guys. In this video, don't worry, we're gonna snap our fingers. Yeah, well, I've got oil and grease all over them, but anyway, we're gonna come back tomorrow. We're gonna get on this car and hopefully get it done. Take it out on the road. Well, guys, I have been hard at work for quite a while now. It's what time is it? 6:19. Good Lord, the day just gets away from you, man. Thankfully, I've got most of it put back together now, and yes, I had people that wanted to help. Yes, Santa could have come, or Monkey Wrench Mike could have come over, but guys, I wanted to do this one by myself. I fully intend on getting rid of this car after it's put back together and finished, guys. I know it's going to make a lot of you upset, but I'm on to bigger and better things, so I kind of wanted this to be my farewell to the car. I wanted to do it all on my own. Now, I did have Nick helping yesterday, and he's a big help. But he's not all that into mechanics, you know. He's great handling tools and holding lights, you know, all that good stuff. But today he didn't even want to come. Today he was like, nah. He saw what happened yesterday. He's like, nah, do I have to go back? And I said, of course you don't have to go back. You don't want to. You ain't got to. So I came out here and I've been wrenching. And we're about to put the drive shaft in. I got to put the bolts back in for the transmission mount. We've got to put the bolts and nuts in for this cross member. I've got the exhaust lined back up again. It's not tightened down yet. I've just got it kind of lightly fitted back in here. Lines are installed. My overdrive is installed. I have one wire to hook up for the overdrive switch right here. We've got the torque converter flywheel bolts tightened down. We've got the shift linkage all installed and set up. Obviously, header is reinstalled. The starter is back in. Spark plugs are installed. Those were a bear. I still have to put spark plug wires on. There's a couple little odds and ends to tighten up down here, guys, but I'm almost done. We're like, I'm gonna say maybe an hour away from being able to start this thing and hope and pray that we have a good working transmission again. Are we ready? I am nervous. I put about 5 quarts of fluid in it. Yes, I pre-filled the torque converter. I've double, triple checked everything. Drive shaft is installed. Battery is hooked up. Spark plug wire. I mean, everything is back installed. So now it comes down to this, right? Oh, it's in neutral. Sorry. Yeah, I had to roll it to install the drive shaft. Come on. There it goes. And dang it. It's cold, guys. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, she's cold. God, this thing sounds so good. I am so nervous to put this in gear and find out if it's gonna work. All right, come on, stay running, stay running, stay running. Stay running. Open that choke. It sounds great. Can we do it? Okay. We're on a 2-footer. Yes! Yes! Reverse! Yes! Neutral? Oh my God. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Just kind of rover through the gears a little bit, you know what I mean? Okay. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It's still daylight outside. I got a dinner date with my mom here in a little bit. I was thinking about going and picking her up in this. There's only one gasket that I couldn't get. I mean, one bolt on the exhaust manifold or the header. I think I hear it too. No? There's one bolt back there that I'm gonna have to shorten the bolt, so I probably shouldn't take this to go pick her up as much as I want to. We're not ready yet. I also gotta hook up the TV cable. TV cable is disconnected currently. I swear I hear that. I hear a header leak. Where? Well, we'll run it through a heat cycle. I'll tighten it all back down. You guys hear that? Ever so slight. Well, that's all right. I'll take it. For now, it's running, guys. That's what's important. It's running. It goes into gear. And as soon as I get the TV cable hooked up, and I'm going to replace this Holly bracket right here, I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to put like the Holly bracket that's made for this. And this down here is already set up for a 200. That right there is already set up for a 204R. So all we got to do is just replace the bracket. I want to make sure that I've got everything positioned where it's supposed to be positioned, so there's no chance of messing anything up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to replace that header gasket on the other side. That's what I'm gonna have to do, guys. It is a Mr. Gasket is what I went with, and that ain't gonna cut it, man. I'm gonna have to go with the Rimflex, like I did on this side. The Rimflex does great, but you can definitely hear it leaking on the other side, so I can't be driving anywhere. I'm gonna let it sit here and let it run for a little bit. I'm gonna check the fluids, and I guess that's it. Well, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. The car runs, the transmission goes into gear. Unfortunately, we can't take it on a drive yet because, like I said, I've got to get those new brackets installed. I want to make sure everything is dialed in and set up properly. I'm also going to order another header gasket for that side. I don't want to be taking it out, driving it around with that header leaking. So I got some more work to do, but don't worry, we're going to come back after I get this thing dialed back in. I'll get everything the way it's supposed to be. We'll come back, we'll take her for a drive and make absolutely sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be. I would try to continue with the video, but I've already got enough content for this one video, guys. And like I said, I got a dinner date with my mom, movie date with my mom. I can't take any longer. I got to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the Monte Carlo. Of course, I want to shout out Monster Transmissions. Again, thank you for stepping up, sending us a new transmission. And like I said, also stay tuned because Monster is going to tear down this transmission. They may even tear down the torque converter, but I don't think there was anything wrong with the torque converter. Something's wrong with that transmission. They're going to tear it down. They're going to look into it and figure out exactly what happened. And when that video is out, I'll be sure to come back with a link for you guys. If they will let me include the video in this video or in one of my next videos, I'll be happy to do that as well. And I'm really thankful that Monster came in and saved our day with a new transmission for this Monte Carlo. I know you guys are gonna be mad at me for wanting to sell the car. Believe it or not, it's not because I hate the car or I'm mad at the car. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just, I got something else on the table here that I wanna get. And it's about $27,000. I'm gonna try my best to get as close to 20 grand out of this as I can. There's a ton, there's over $30,000 total invested into this car. Now I know you don't get your money back out of it. I'm not expecting to, but I'd like to get as close to 20,000 on this car as possible so I can get that next project rolled in here for you guys. It could be the next Power Tour car for 2025. So don't get mad at me for getting rid of it. It's just on to bigger and better things, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and be sure to drop those comments down below. Till next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.